Welcome to the European Southern Observatory. In this video, we will introduce how to prepare UVES observations. UVES is an optical cross-dispersed eggshell spectrograph mounted at the UT2 8.2 meters telescope at Paranal Observatory. UVES operates at high resolutions with a resolving power of 20,000 to 110,000, depending on the slit width, and covers a wide spectral range, from 300 to 1,100 nanometers. UVES is designed for high-precision spectroscopy and accurate wavelength calibration. Once your UVES proposal is accepted, you can move to the ESO Phase 2 tool for preparing your observing material. In the Phase 2, you can define your observing blocks, or OBs, which specify the details of your observations. If you are not familiar with the Phase 2 tool, we have a dedicated video about it in this channel, see link in the description. You can use the UVES exposure time calculator, or ETC, to estimate the required exposure time to achieve your desired signal-to-noise ratio. Each OB shall include a target acquisition template and at least one science template. The target acquisition template ensures precise centering of the target. For the science templates, the UVES spectrograph has two arms, one optimized for the blue and one for the red wavelength domains, resulting in 4 different modes of operation. The blue mode, where only the blue arm is used, covering around 100 nanometers within the 300 to 500 nanometer range, depending on the central wavelength. The red mode, where only the red arm is used, covering from 200 to 400 nanometers within the 400 to 1100 nanometer range, depending on the central wavelength. And in addition, the light can be split with a dichroic and fed to both arms. This gives the modes dichroic 1 and dichroic 2, with different wavelength ranges. When using one of the dichroic modes, exposures are obtained independently but simultaneously in the two arms. For each mode, several standard configurations are defined corresponding to specific wavelength ranges within the full range accessible to the given mode. It is possible to cover the entire wavelength range from 300 to 1100 nanometers with one pair of dichroic 1 settings and one pair of dichroic 2 settings, effectively in the time it takes for 2 exposures, since each setting pair are exposed simultaneously. Different slit widths are offered and sky offsets can be done for sky subtraction. If the standard settings are not appropriate, the so-called free settings can be requested. Free settings are normally only available in visitor mode in order to reduce the calibration load in service mode. In order to use them in service mode, a well-justified waiver has to be requested and approved. UVES also offers image slicers to obtain high resolving power without excessive slit loss, for example in poor seeing conditions when using narrow slits. Finally, an iodine cell can be inserted in the light beam for observations. This superimposes a molecular absorption spectrum containing many lines on the observed astronomical spectrum. This enables very accurate wavelength calibration in the spectral range 500 to 600 nanometers. Before finishing your Phase 2, please ensure you meet all the general and instrument-specific requirements. This includes providing finding charts, exposure times and offsets, setting the correct position angles and configuring the acquisition templates. Once your OBs are reviewed and approved by your assigned support astronomer, your observations will be scheduled for observation at Paranal Observatory. Once the data is taken, raw data is immediately available for users. Automatic data reduction is performed with the official UVES pipeline using the ESO Data Processing System, or EDPS environment, and placed in the ESO Archive, although both raw and reduced data are only public after the corresponding proprietary time. Thank you for watching. More information can be found in the UVES user manual and associated online documentation. For any questions, please contact us at ESO User Support. Happy observing!